crimp in a plug-in. That way I can actually remove it without pulling the whole thing out.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just go get my bike. Actually, this can stay up here. All right, I'm gonna try to do the cool dude ride in. All right. Thanks. Well, on this episode's of Crossroads Garage, my brother and I are gonna start doing some work on our bikes. We believe his stator just went out, so we're gonna take the tank off and do some troubleshooting on that. And then my bike, I guess this is just the introduction video of this bike. I got it late last fall, rode it a little bit. I'll show you around for a minute. I put this fork bag on it. The exhaust was already done. I chopped the rear fender and did the tail light, license plate holder, turn signals, and seat. And it's great. It looks cool, but it's not cool enough. And because I no longer have the chrome braces that come down and hold the whole fender together, it does this when you ride, no matter how much you tighten these bolts down, and it's not great. Plus, I rode it up to Sandpoint the long way, so that was about 2 hours for the first of the year car show, and didn't clean it when I put it back, which is a total unacceptable thing to do to a bike. So we're going to be doing a lot of cleaning today too. I have some pretty cool ideas for how I'm going to drop this fender some more and cut it out even more. I'm going to try to basically come here, and then I'm probably going to shorten it back up to here, drop it about 2.5 inches, something like that. And I got some angle iron. We're going to be making and welding some brackets. I'm going to move the turn signals so I can chop the frame here and clean it all up, make it look smooth. And my older brother gave me his old Harley Sportster front fender, but it's not quite wide enough, the brackets. So we're going to be doing some tweaking on that and cutting up this front fender a little bit, probably doing a real shorty front fender, just enough to keep some of the road grime and rain off. And yeah, I have a pretty awesome idea for paint and design. It should look very, very cool. It's going to completely transform this entire bike. It's not going to be black anymore. I don't know that we can paint today. It was supposed to be 62 and sunny and no wind, and it's 55, cloudy, and extremely windy. So it's quite chilly, not really the appropriate weather to paint in. But we'll see. We'll see. I might get the fire going, and what are you doing, Jake? Ridiculous dog. I forgot what I was saying. Either way, I'm gonna get a couple of things together, reposition the camera, and then we will get going. So give me just a minute here. Okay, we are set up. I've got you over here. You can probably see a whole lot better with the light behind you than in front. Yeah, why not? No, I'll drop the tripod a little bit more. So I was doing some looking to see what most people do for cleaning their engines and whatnot on their bikes. And everybody says WD-40. So I've got a long bristle brush. Had to think about how to say that for a minute. And some WD-40. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw you guys on a time lapse because I gotta do this as quickly as I can so we can start working on these fenders. Time lapse commence. Okay, so what we're doing, or what my brother's doing, is we went for a little ride this morning and it kind of just petered out and died, and he had been having some trouble with the jetting, so he fixed that and it was running good, and then a spark plug boot fell apart. Got that kind of jimmy rigged back together, and then now it just died, so we had to haul it back. What we're thinking is the voltage regulator, which would make the most sense. It is an 80s foreign bike, so it would make sense. But anyways, yeah, sorry, the neighbors are pulling in, distracted. So he's gonna try to do that, and meanwhile, look at this. This, absolutely amazing. I don't know why no one ever told me about WD-40 before. Been learning a lot this year. This is like wax for your whole motorcycle, but better. Also, I don't know if any of you know what man, I really can't speak. What WD-40 stands for, but there was an aerospace program back in, I think it was the 50s, maybe the 60s. And they were trying to come up with a water displacement system. Oh, would you just look at that? Absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. Anyways, they were trying to come up with this stuff for their aerospace. I know you can't see it really well, but it's gorgeous. And it was their 40th try at making a water displacing lubricant. There you go, now you can see me better. Now I can't see though. Either way, that's where it came from. Fun little fact about that. I'm gonna put you back on time lapse and we're gonna keep knocking this out. I should be done cleaning here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Then we can start removing that rear fender, do a little bit more cleaning, and start chopping. Okay, we're just about done cleaning. I'm not worried about the rear swing arm and the chain guard and that sort of stuff at the moment. I'll be cleaning that as I go. I mainly just wanted to get the engine cleaned up and, you know, that sort of thing. And man, is it cleaned up. Right now, I'm gonna start on my wheels because they are absolutely filthy still from that ride up to Sandpoint. Don't have a lot of great areas to put you in right now, unfortunately. So you're just gonna have to kind of hang out right there. But I'm gonna attempt to clean these up as good as I can. Try to get the spokes some and get all this dirt and road grime off of here. Make this bike look a little bit nicer. And then, like I said a minute ago, we will start chopping, which should be pretty good. Perfect. That is enough. So, as you can see, we got the fender and the seat off and the chain guard kind of cleaned up. Just trying to clean things as we go a little bit. So what I'm gonna have to figure out is, oh, this is such a heavy fender, even after being chopped. So this thing sits way up here. I want to drop it down at least, how far is that? At least this far anyways, maybe farther. And I want to get rid of this whole front piece so I can, yeah. So basically I want to cut it right about here, I think, because that should leave me enough room to weld to it right there. And then, yeah, I think that'll work. So basically what I'm thinking is cutting it about right here all the way across, getting rid of this whole front piece of fender, and then we can work on trimming out this whole side right here. Something, I don't know how well you can see that, but something kind of like that. Just all the way up and across. Really make this thing short and sleek. I think that's gonna work out well. Okay, so we are ready to start cutting this fender. Hopefully I don't mess it up, and we'll show you what it looks like here in a minute. Hold on. I cannot see good enough with these sunglasses on. I gotta find my clear glasses. Without fail. The foam from the cover for the carburetor was sitting on top of these underneath that paper that had the adapter.
Great.
Oh no, I couldn't find them.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull that out while I lift a little bit
Pull
of
this?
pressure off it? Yeah. Is the back wheel on the ground?
I think so. Hold on.
Not quite, but closer.
Okay. There.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Okay, now we grind. Oops. I think I messed up. There we go. I fixed it.
Nice.
Well, that took a while, huh? All right, let me test fit this. I kind of messed it up on the first cut. It started wandering on me and I didn't notice. Oh, dude. I think that's gonna actually be just about perfect. Oh, dude, look at this.
Nice.
Yep, that bracket's gonna weld on right here perfectly. I can go right across, probably even use the same bolt holes.
Well, the spin on that table's a bit shorter.
Is it?
Yeah. I guess I need to put it down and see if it reaches.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna throw you back on a time lapse, and we are going to try to follow this natural curvature and just keep it going and give this thing a nice, beautiful curve. Cut this whole side and all this junk out of here. Done with it. If I can get it to stay upright. There. All right, time lapse commence. Taking a break from cutting and grinding for a minute. I'll show you all the progress we've made here in a minute. But I want to welcome you into my paint booth. So I'm trying an idea. I'm hoping to do the whole bike. Hopefully this paint is still good. It's been sitting on my toolbox since last summer. But I have a pretty neat idea. This is not the permanent color for this bike. It's gonna be fully, properly painted sometime this summer, whenever the guy's ready. But for now, I have some Chevrolet orange, and I have an idea that I want to try. It ought to be pretty neat. What do you think? Huh? Eh? Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be cool. As long as the wind doesn't blow this off. I'm gonna go that way. Right kind of in the middle. All right, let's give this a shot. So I just scuffed up the black. So it'll be a black lace through orange. It's extremely windy right now, so we'll see how this does. I don't know how well this is gonna work. This is a lot of overspray. Not a lot of overspray. The wind's taking a lot of it is what I'm trying to say.
Overspray, come this way.
Oh, I'm trying not to. Close that door up for a minute. I can't really control what the wind does. Wow, it's obnoxious. That's good. That's plenty. I should be doing this in there, honestly. Might be a little bit too cold to be doing this too. I wasn't gonna do it, but well, we're doing it. So this is the bracket that I've made so far. I'm gonna weld it to the back of the bike. This should give me, well, close to 1.5 inches of drop. I'm just gonna tack it and get the fender sitting up there and see what we're looking like. I also am going to build some fender braces with this angle iron. I'm gonna split it down the middle and then just bring them up and tie them up somehow right there. I'm not sure. Well, towards the back, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm getting tired and I don't know what else to say, so time lapse. Forgot I had this thing plugged into a charger. All right. So we have some success here. That's the bracket. Works out pretty good. It's not sitting where it's supposed to be. Obviously, it's going to be up here a couple inches. But when I build the brackets for the axle and bring it up, we're going to tie it up back here, and it'll look pretty cool. It's hard to film this and hold it at the same time, but it's way, way short of profile, way narrower. You can see I messed it up right here. I have a little bit of a jog. When I was cutting this junk out, I kept running into these massive double and triple layer areas. That is what caused me to make that mistake. The other side, I managed to not do it. It actually looks pretty good. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, see? That looks pretty sweet. If we can get it to ride right about there, I think that's going to be just about perfect. That's going to give it a nice, sleek, low look. It really opens up the back of the bike. You can see the tire and everything. It looks looks cool. I made another spray painting mistake, like I always do. Tried to paint when it was too cold. Messed it up. Looks like junk. Got a bunch of runs. And yeah, that doesn't look like anything. That's pretty awful. Well, good morning. Handy bolt. We have a lot of work to do today. Kind of messed up the rear fender a little bit last night. Well, when I cut it, it's kind of messed up. There's an angle in there that I'm sure you've already seen that I'm gonna have to fix. It just does not look right. And then I bought some actual real strap to build these fender supports out of. So we will be cutting that up, drilling some holes. I got a step bit, but they didn't have one as big as I think that I need. So we will figure that out as we get closer. Let me get set up and we'll get right into this. So first things first, we got to pull this fender back off. The seat I just have set, so that's easy. We gotta pull this back off real quick and fix this real bad notch right here. I'm gonna do the best that I can and not mess it up, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can get it to look right without a terrible amount of difficulty. So this side does not look too bad. Could probably smooth this out right here a little bit in certain areas, but mostly it's pretty straight. This side, not so much. It got me good. So I gotta think if I can, looks like, yeah, it looks like I can just cut kind of a new line and follow it up right here and just try to smooth it out. That's what I'm going to attempt anyways. Let me grab the grinder. Well, that's a lot better. There's still a little, oh, that's the wrong side. That's much better. It's not totally perfect. It's fine. It's just got to make it down the road for about a month. And then we're gonna be switching fenders, so. But yeah, at least I got that kink out of it. got set up. The axle nuts pulled off the other side. I'm gonna start taking some measurements of this and seeing where we gotta be. I gotta figure out how to hold this up right about where I need it, which is right there. See if I can do this without knocking my bike off. Let me see. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I think that's gonna have to do for now. I forgot, I still got some cutting to do on the fender. Gotta cut it around right here. Oh, we'll do that in a minute. Let's take these measurements first. Let's see. So from the axle to here is 11. And I think I added, but I'm gonna go from out here. I think I have to. Yeah. So if I do 12, yeah, I'm gonna start with 13 because we're gonna have to make a bend, drill a hole. So really, yeah, 13 plus a bend, 13 and a half. Let's call it 14. Well, I've got the supports made and the fender finished trimmed. So I think what we can do now is, well, let's see. This one, they're gonna sit right up here in the fender. And to be honest with you, at least for the moment, I mean, they're riding right there. There's no reason to weld it. They're not gonna flop around. I'm just gonna set them and tack it probably on the inside and just kind of see where they ride for a minute. It'll be good enough for a test drive or a test ride. And if they need adjusted, then at least I can pull them right back out easily. But I think this is actually gonna work a little better than I was even anticipating. I think I'm gonna have just enough room. We may actually need to go to the back position instead of the front position, just to make sure that the inside of these little bolts, they're very short, but just to ensure they don't, where is it? There it is. Just to ensure that they don't touch anything. I gotta straighten this one out a little bit more. It's pushing that fender over too much. Where's the nut? I want to try clamping it down a little bit. Kind of get it into position. And then I can kind of tweak things as I need to once it's snugged up. Ugh. I have to get a socket for the other side. Well, let's just see. Yeah. That's pretty close. Hold on a minute, let me get this. Speaking of my son's birthday, that was my dad. We're trying to arrange picking up a present for him. Okay. Well, I think that's about where it's gonna ride. It feels pretty good. It wiggles a little bit, but not bad. I'm gonna clean up this chain a little bit. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of time lapse on this video. Well, there you go. Beautiful. Unfortunately, that pattern did not turn out, but I'm gonna try again. This wheel looking pretty good. Oh yeah, that's the whole reason I grabbed this. To clean up this white wall. A couple of little brown spots on it. Get most of that right off. There. We're almost ready to take this thing for a little ride. I just want to make sure she's looking her best. Well, the best I'm willing to do right now anyways. I just don't have the time. There. Okay. You know what? We do have this nice, lovely, direct sun. It is pretty warm. I'm gonna try it. I'm going to attempt to paint the other side cover really quick. And then while that's drying, we can take this thing for a little ride. Oh my goodness, that is tight. Where's my sandpaper? There it is. I'm half tempted not to scuff this because I think it's clear coated actually, and it seems to just peel it right off. But I do want it to flake and fade. You know what? We'll try one scuffed one not scuffed, and see what happens. That'll be fine. Paint booth. Okay. Lace. I'm hoping that it'll lay flatter and bleed through less with this, but we'll see. Hopefully with this baking sun that we've got right now, it'll help us. I'm not a fan of this can. Really hope this wind doesn't blow the lace off. But I guess if it does, it does. All right. No news. That's fine. We'll back this bike out and take a real look at this fender while it's outside. I can already tell it's much, much lower. And it doesn't wobble around like mad. My receiver's got about half battery life left, so that's good. I will have to put some nuts on the underside of this seat though. It's a little bit wiggly. Oh yeah, at a distance, that looks way better. That's not half bad at all. That's all I was really going for is the 20-foot glance, you know what I mean? Let me see how this looks on camera. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Not unless you get close, you can't even tell that it's crooked. But look how clean this bike is. Whew, look at that chrome. Man, that's beautiful. I love that. Doesn't look bad from a distance at all, does it? Oh yeah. That was a good looking bike. Let's see if it's even. Man, look at that. That is dead even. That is perfect. That is much lower. I definitely gotta drop. I gotta drop this probably another full 2 inches at least to make it look right. Whew. Pretty. Well, there you have it. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty cool from a distance. I think that's all I'm gonna do for today, at least as far as the rear one is concerned. I mean, it's solid, it's not going anywhere. There's a slight shimmy if you tug on it, but I mean, at least as far as riding, it doesn't jump up and down, and that's ultimately what matters. I will get in here probably next weekend and throw a couple of tacks on it. Yep, they're even. But I did figure out what I want to do with this front bracket. I'm going to cut this one back off, and then what I'm going to do is use some of that strap steel that I picked up today. Here, let me bring you in. Just to get this dropped down farther. It's good 1 1/8 or 1 1/4, something like that strap. And I'm just gonna make an L bracket that comes down about 3 inches with a little leg on it. And I'm just gonna use a single bolt in the front since I've got these supports now. I'm also gonna get rid of this ugly piece. I should have done that last year when I installed this seat, and I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. Still gotta clean up the springs, obviously, but anyways, yeah. So I'll build that bracket. That'll drop this thing right down to where we need it. And before I secure these side supports, I think what I'm gonna do is drop it first, then see where it holds the back, because I don't want it, it's doing this right now, and I don't want it to do that, you know what I mean? So, anyways, yeah. I'm going to put the bike back in the shop, and then turn it around, and we can start kind of looking at fitting up that front fender, front fender potentially. I'm very, very nearly out of time. I only have about 20 minutes left, but we might be able to at least get an idea of how we're gonna mount that. And then I'll cut that up and make it look cool. I'm also, man, I don't know where this frog in my throat came from, but it's getting me. I'm attempting this one. It's a little bit warmer actually today than it was yesterday, or it feels like it. And we actually have sun like we did not yesterday. So I'm gonna let this dry for about another 10 minutes, do one last coat on it, then pull it off and see if we've had any better luck at all on this one than we did the other one. And the next weekend, I'll sand that one back down, and if we get that one to work, then we'll redo it and see what we can do. And then start on the fenders. It ought to look pretty sweet. That's a pretty awesome looking bike. It's very hot roddy, which is what I'm going for, so it works out. Well, we got it set up, kind of, and I got the brackets bent to where it kind of is sitting where it needs to go. But as you can see, we're gonna have a lot of work to do. It's narrow, which is cool. It kind of gives it a hot rod look, and I like that. But the brackets are totally off completely. So, excuse me. Yeah, they're not even close. I think what I'm gonna end up having to do is cut this whole lower section off right here. Just leave these 2 tabs, and I guess kind of bend it up and tweak it. It's either that or I just grind off these rivets and get rid of those. Oh, come on. Which wouldn't be hard. I can just take these rivets out and then re-weld. Actually, you know what would be even easier is if I just take the grinder, cut it along right here so you can't see any of this junk anymore, and then I can take some of that strap steel right there, or these other pieces up there that I made yesterday, and just do like a singular tie down over here. Let's see, how would I do that? Because you don't want it to rock, that's for sure. No, No, I think that would work. If I use a single that comes down, and then I can use just a small cross piece and weld it all together to make a T out of it, I think that would probably be the simplest thing versus trying to make this thing work, because it's, like you saw, it's not even remotely close. So I'm going to have to do some fabbing on that to get it to work right. But I think something like that, and then just tee it right here, and then I can drill my holes, which might be a little bit tricky. I might have to take the front wheel off, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do for that. So that is not a today project, which is fine because I am officially out of time. You can see we took that off. Didn't turn out a lot better. It's a little bit better. It's not it doesn't run, at least not anywhere that I've seen, and the color is a lot better. But yeah, it did not do the thing it was supposed to do. So it looks like I will be ordering some stencils after all and doing that. That's next weekend's project. Actually, we'll have to see, because we've got plans for next weekend to do something with the truck. We'll see how it goes. Well, it'll either be doing some truck stuff or some bike stuff. Either way, it should be a lot of fun, and it'll be eventful, I'm sure. Man, this thing really cleaned up nice for just a little bit of spit polish hurry cleaning that I did. Looks way better. You can see this nasty run right here. Look at that. It was just way too cold. It would not tack up, and I was in too much of a hurry trying to force it, as per usual. But it does look great. Figured out what was wrong with my brother's bike. He needs a stator and a voltage regulator, so those are on the way. Should be here Saturday. So we may have another bike week, or we'll just do a two-part video and do a bike day and a truck day. That might be the way to do it. That fender doesn't look that bad. It's kind of growing on me. But I definitely got to fix that front bracket, that's for sure. Man, somebody's got to come out here and clean up this mess. I'm definitely not going to be the one to do it. Alright, well, I got to clean up and get in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video more than like the last 3. None of them have done over 30 views, so hopefully you guys will like this and watch it, get something out of it. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. Get out and do something, even if it's stupid and uneven and doesn't look great. At least from 20 feet, nobody can tell. I gotta start doing stuff right, huh? I know. Wait till the weather comes and, you know, I start having some more daylight in the evenings. We'll start doing more and doing some cleaner work. Alright, well, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, share it if you want to, ring the bell, do all the things, you know the deal, and we will catch you next time. Have a good rest of your weekend.